Hi, I'm Craig, and this is the 6th video in this series about the solar system. In the last video, we spoke about the Earth. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Moon. So, how big is the Moon? The Moon has a circumference of 10,917 kilometers. The Moon has a circumference, the area around the Sun, and it has a radius of 1,737 kilometers. The circumference is the area around the Moon, and the radius is from centre to surface. There is almost no atmosphere on the Moon, so it cannot trap heat and insulate itself. In full sunshine, in full sunlight, the Moon can reach temperatures of 127 degrees Celsius. 127 degrees Celsius. On the Moon there are 13 days of high temperatures, followed by 13 days of darkness. And once the sun goes down, the temperature at the bottom of the craters can reach minus 173 degrees Celsius. Is there water on the Moon? Due to its tilt, due to the Moon's tilt, some parts of the Moon never see sunlight. Because of that, it's possible for water ice to survive. When India's Chandrayaan-1, a lunar orbiter, passed over the North Pole of the Moon in 2009, it found more than 40 craters that were thought to have contained ice, which confirmed findings of the previous year when an orbiter went to the South Pole and found ice. The Moon also contains ice in some of its rocks. The Moon orbits the Earth at an average distance of 384,400 kilometers. 384,400 kilometers. The Moon doesn't have a perfect circular orbit. It's an elliptical orbit, just like the Earth has with the Sun. So this is an average distance. The furthest distance the Moon gets is 405,696 kilometers, and the closest the Moon gets is 360,000 kilometers. Every year, the Moon moves 4 centimeters further away. The Moon moves 4 centimeters further away from the Earth. This is because there is a small amount of friction between the Earth and the tides, which causes the planet to slow down its rotation. When this happens, the Moon moves further away. So why do we only see one side of the Moon? This is because the Moon orbits the Earth at a rate of 27 days. It takes the Moon 27 days to orbit the Earth. But it also takes the Moon 27 days to rotate on its axis. So, because the rotation of the Moon and the orbit of the Moon is the exact same amount of time, as it rotates, we only ever see one side of the Moon. The other side of the Moon we normally call the far side of the Moon. It is not the dark side of the Moon. All of the Moon sees the Sun. There is no dark side of the Moon. It is just, from our perspective, it is the far side of the moon. The moon has a very thin atmosphere known as the exosphere. A very thin atmosphere known as the exosphere. The exosphere contains helium, argon, neon, ammonia, methane and carbon dioxide. It contains helium, argon, neon, ammonia, methane and carbon dioxide. The moon also contains sodium and potassium. So it also contains sodium and potassium, which are not usually found in gases in the atmospheres of Earth, Venus and Mars. So why are there so many impact craters on the moon? Yeah, the craters be seen here, these dark spots. So a crater is formed when a meteor hits the surface of the moon or of the Earth or any other planet. The meteor hits the surface and at a very high speed creates a large hole, which we call a crater. Meteor impacts happen due to a very thin atmosphere or no atmosphere. It has nothing to protect it from the meteors. Very early in the solar system's formation, there were meteors hitting planets all the time. With the moon, we can still see them, as the moon has no weather. There's no weather. There's no rain or snow. Nothing to erode the craters, which is why they are still so prominent now. Just like the Earth, the moon has a crust, mantle and core. The moon has crust, mantle and core. The core is solid iron and it can reach temperatures between 1327 degrees Celsius and 1427 degrees Celsius. This temperature is hot enough to create a molten liquid outer core, but it isn't hot enough to warm the surface. The mantle is approximately 1,000 kilometers thick. This layer was once liquid magma and resulted in a lot of volcanic activity. Once the magma cooled, all this activity stopped. So how does the moon cause tides on Earth? It is due to the gravitational pull. The gravitational pull causes the water on the nearest side of the Earth to bulge out. Yeah. So the gravitational pull of the moon causes the water on the nearest side, the side closest to the moon, to bulge out. But because of the Earth's gravity acting as well, the water on the other side of the Earth also bulges out, which it stretches and squashes the Earth, and this is why we experience 2 high tides and 2 low tides every day. How many people have walked on the moon? There have been 6 human moon landings, which were all a part of NASA's Apollo program. Part of NASA's Apollo program, which ran between 1961 and 1972. After the huge achievement of Apollo 11, taking Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin to the moon in 1969, there have been 5 more missions up to 1972, and there have been 12 people in total that have walked on the surface of the moon. They performed experiments, they collected samples, and they also played golf. Since then, nobody has been back to the moon, but NASA plans to send people back to the moon in 2025 on the Artemis 3. If you like this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section if you'd like to see more videos like these. If you would like a private English lesson, then please click on the link in the description. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.